Before we get on to the final bit of geometry, which is the most telling bit of it, there's just one thing that I would say here about the securities in these mortgages. Now, these securities have been gained by banks as the middlemen after they lent your money to your neighbour, effectively, within the global community and within national communities. They've taken your money, they've lent it to someone else, they've bought a house, and in the meantime the bank has taken an attachment or a mortgage or a security on their property. Now, these are the key assets of banks, especially when they fail. They're going down in value as there's not enough money around to buy things, but they are still the key assets, and they get passed up to higher banks up the chain when the smaller banks fail. Now, there's a specific shape to this. This is your entire banking industry, let's say, and for our purposes here, these are the bottom banks, bottom of the pile. These are the new banks which don't have a shed load of money. They haven't been trading for that long, and so they haven't accumulated these large war chests, as I would call them. Basically, they've got their 10% on reserve for their customers' deposits, and then they've got their debts. But when the amount of debt is exceeding the amount of credit, or if people are doing a bank run, trying to take out more money than there is the 10% within the bank to cater for, and the bank goes bankrupt and it collapses, or it's bought up and it's merged with another bank just prior to it collapsing. So this bank at the bottom gets wiped out and it gets bought up by the bank above it. Now, this line up here at the middle, I sort of did it by mistake, but actually this can indicate the passing up of the assets, which is the securities and the mortgages on people's properties. And so as the money goes around and the financial system digs itself into a hole like a dog chasing its tail, banks collapse from the bottom up. Big banks buy up medium-sized banks, medium-sized... Again, sorry about the editing there. Medium-sized banks buy up smaller banks. And basically, the entire banking system collapses up to the top. Now, who do we suppose is sitting at the top of this pyramid of banks? Well, it's the oldest banks, and indeed it is those banks and those bankers who designed this entire system, which is the shape of its collapse, the shape of its growth, the shape of the extreme leverage, the fractional reserve, and the debt balancing the credit, which is all sweet in a functioning economy, but it's no good when it gets to the top and it starts to saturate throughout itself. Now, this whole shape broadly, of light here and dark here, has different names, but it's been called the tree of life. Life increases exponentially. It increases to a pattern of phi, or the golden ratio, which is 1.618. Bit complicated, check it out yourself. But anyway, this broad pattern of light and dark, good and evil, is what makes the whole thing go round. Now, people with understandings of this have taken this pattern and they've applied it to the financial system so that it would suit them, and so that when the financial system destroyed itself, that they would gain, and they are the top banks. You follow the money and you find out, just as everyone's been saying for a long time, it's international bankers who want to rule the world. Now the next image, I hope, will confirm this for you, and then I'll tell you what to do about it. Hello again. I couldn't work out how to do an audio over the top of that image, I'm afraid. So I've drawn it here, and I can just talk about it just for a minute. Basically, what this image, which is a Masonic image, it's an occult Masonic symbol. What it denotes is an understanding of exponential increases and exponential decreases, and a situation collapsing down onto itself. Now this could actually be, you could see this as your past collapsing down to your present, to what you do now and how you see things now. It also could denote the collapse, as I alluded to before, of the banks collapsing from the bottom up to the top, to the banks that set up the system in the first place, who are the same people who put this stamp on the US $1 note, the Freemasons. And the I can be seen as I did this. Now a little bit about this stuff here: Annuit Coeptis and Novus Ordo Seclorum. Annuit Coeptis means he approves of our undertakings, or he approves the undertakings. And he, being God, or perhaps the great architect, the infinite one in all the religions. So basically the pattern of infinity, if you like, or God, approves of this system of fractional reserve banking, and it does. Fractional reserve banking runs according to the shape of infinity, and that's why it's run so well. It has allowed massive amounts of economic growth. However, it is finite, and it collapses, and when it does, boom, 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 up to the top. New Order of the Ages has been translated as New Order of the Ages down here has been translated as New World Order incorrectly, but it denotes a timeline, and we are seeing that timeline playing out in its final end game in relation to this and the financial system right now.